Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between Argos Xenix versus HerisGG here on Shakura's Plateau. Actually, let me get this replay started, don't know why. Keep on hitting the wrong key there. We have Argos spawning as the red Zerg on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have HerisGG spawning as the blue Protoss. This was taken from BattleNet, the Korean BattleNet, I believe. Hence, all the names are in Korean and very, very difficult for me to read. Now, we'll see how these players really play out and what their strategies are going to be here on Shakura's Plateau. Fortunately, I was able to get some high masters and grandmasters plays from the Korean BattleNet servers thanks to my friends, so we'll see how this game goes and what options these players are really going to be going for. Now, GG looks like he will be going for a low ground pylon and then trying to go for a fast nexus. What I really like about this particular build is that this probe can then respond and react to what he sees accordingly. If he sees that his opponent is not going for a fast hatchery down here, then he knows that he needs to get a forge first. Otherwise, if he does see a hatchery back over here, he knows that he can then get a nexus first and stay and keep up in the economic game. Probe gonna come up the ramp here. There's a customary GG coming in from Argos as the probe takes a look around. Doesn't see anything important as of yet, and now a spawning pool may be built, or no, it is, yes, gonna be a spawning pool built over here. And now the probe just going to be on patrol in between these two locations, not really knowing what's going on. So he did decide to go for a forge first just in case. And now the probe is back down. He will spot the spawning pool and be very, very happy to know that his forged first opening was the correct choice in being able to stop any Zerglings run-bys. Now, the forge first opening generally works well on Shakura's Plateau because of the long walking distances, the ramp over here, which prevents any Zerglings from really being able to see or get up into there, as we now see a triple pylon block coming in from HerisGG. So a triple pylon block blocking anything from really happening, and now all that can really be done by Argos is that he can either see if these pylons are going to be completed. If they are completed, yes, they are going to be completed, and all he can really do now is set up a macro hatch. So it looks like it is going to be a macro hatch at some point. Not quite sure what Argos can really do. He is going into double extractors as well. Is this going to be a macro hatch? Yes, it looks like it will be, and it's going to be hidden off on the corner there. This is very, very difficult to break down, even with roaches, as the roaches have a range of 4, so the roaches all need to get right into this location here and try to start attacking this one photon cannon, and this is going to be a very, very effective strategy. All Argos can do now is perhaps run away with this drone, and if he can actually set up a proxy hatch with this drone, that would be really, really funny. If the 3 pylons over here are just going to prevent anything from really happening, a roach from up here should be able to take this down. Perhaps another queen. No, upgrading to tier 2, so Argos looking like he wanted to do his standard build. A spawning pool hatchery isn't going to be able to do so, as a drone now able to slip by. A lot of resources invested on this front door, and now if warp gate is added, it's going to be very easy to warp in additional units. Oh, nice push into the main base, as the probe now going to take a look around. No queen. So Argos without a queen, and this probe has not seen the macro hatch yet. So he has to believe that there's a macro hatch somewhere else around the map. You can see that there's an overlord pitching itself off over here. This probe going to perhaps hug along the far corner, perhaps try to be tricky, place in a pylon, but an overlord quickly going to make its way, or rather slowly make its way over in order to catch sight of that. Zergling's now going to chase after this probe. The probe, however, is it able to slip by? Yes, it looks like it will be able to, and he does spot that second hatchery. And now a Nidus network. Did he spot the Nidus network is the key question. Was the Nidus network spotted? And no, just in the fog of war. So a Nidus network counter after this front door here. And what is one of the main strengths about, or one of the main weaknesses of this triple pylon block with the photon cannon, is 450 resources are invested into something that really doesn't do much at all. You can see now, perhaps, what is going to be happening there. Another Nidus network. Okay, so double Nidus network coming in from Argos in order to unload those units much more quickly. That is going to be very interesting to see. One Nidus network already up. Zergling's metabolic boost has been completed. Second Nidus network now coming in. And this is going to be a strange strategy. Pylons are being warped in all across the field, making sure that no Nidus networks can pop up without vision. Now, the key question will be, having two Nidus networks, which Nidus network do you take down? Both of them are an equal threat as they are a network and are attached to each other. So we'll see what's going to be happening. There's one worm, there's two worms, both being built very, very close to each other. There's one over here and one over here as well. The probes are coming off the mineral line to try to fight it off. It looks like the Nidus worm will get taken down. Down it goes. But this worm gonna pop up, and in comes the Zerglings. Argos now swarming in, a lot of Zerglings here, running rampant through the base, and the Zerglings are gonna perhaps try to focus down and get some damage onto those Zealots, perhaps take down some of these key buildings as well. Down goes a Sentry, as another Nidus network on the top ground here. So two Nidus networks going to be able to unload units all across the map. This Nexus will get taken down. No more free Chrono boost over here. Double assimilators now being re-established as Zerglings, able to run by and take down this one Sentry. Zealot's gonna get taken down as well, as here is GG using probes to fight off against the Swarm. Now, what we could start to see is if another Nidus network is established here, then you can actually have spine crawlers up on the high ground. An Overlord could also start to spew creep, and drones could make their way through. And this is going to be very interesting, but these guys do not have vision up onto the high ground, and that is important, as that probe is currently trying to fight back. There is that Nidus network there. Zergling, or one photon cannon here. The probe is able to spot up onto the high ground, as the Zerglings are now taking down more pylons here, and a spine crawler going to start denying food over here as well. Another pylon has been established. This photon cannon will be completed. This Nidus network will get taken down, but a massive number of pylons have been lost by HerisGG. A rather unusual strategy, as now you see both players running off of one base. Harvester count 29 compared to 27. This pylon is here, may be able to slowly inch forward, but more pylons have been destroyed, and now the harvester count currently sitting at 35 compared to 28. One stalker up on the high ground, and that is pretty much no good whatsoever. Another hatchery finally being established here. So while a Nidus network being used in order to be able to take this hatchery, and this is rather cute play, as there's one photon cannon now here, and most likely will get surrounded in just a moment. A queen now starting to lay down creep tumors as well. And now all the Zerglings can run back, hide inside that worm, and figure out what that long-term strategy is. What a cute play would also be is being able to use Contaminate to start denying probes off of the Nexus. That would really slow down HerisGG, but he does have a decent saturation on those right now in 29. There is an Overlord here, and now a creep tumor being built here. The Stalkers need to make their way up. They're not going to have observers for quite some time. And now Argos, with a 16 food advantage, moves on into the mid-game, and we'll see how this is all going to work, as the hatchery running off of two bases, 48 drones, 49 drones versus 29, as we are now moving into Spire play. Double extractors once again being re-established. This photon cannon, more of a taunt, saying that, hey, I'm not expanding down here, but where have I expanded to? Stalkers and Zealots now continuing to look across the map. It looks like this creep tumor, it will get destroyed, but will be quite some time before observers are created. And Argos knows that he has completely denied his opponent anything there. The robotics facility now being built, and then needing to get up another one there. Where is that robotics facility being built? It is off over there, so the Overseer can even contaminate it. If I wouldn't put it past Argos to actually contaminate it if he knows that there is the robotics facility there, and even delay this creep tumor even further. Argos now just sitting back, relaxing, getting up a lot more drones as well. He wants to be able to carry and get a strong economic advantage before the mid-game really starts. It's a race, and he's running faster than his opponent. No real reason to try to do anything too rash right now. Those two creep tumors still blocking. It's going to take even more time for it to recede. I do not believe Argos is going to move back over with this Overseer to delay it. Oh, is he actually going to do it? Is he going to do it? I'm so excited if he does. Yes, and he does do it. Alright, just absolutely cute play even further, delaying the robotics facility from being able to trigger that observer for another 30 seconds, and another 30 seconds at this stage is about 300 to 400 minerals, so one contaminate delaying for even further, and it needs to be chrono boosted, and yeah, gonna be chrono boosted once more in order to get that observer out. Too bad contaminate doesn't cost 75 energy. If he did, he would have been able to chain contaminate and completely lock in his opponent inside his one base for even longer. Stalkers now just patrolling back and forth, a large army up on the high ground, as this place is far too cluttered to really do anything else. And now hallucinations being added as well, as he needs some sort of scouting. Argos now finally establishing his natural expansion here at the 15-minute mark. Normally, if I say a Zerg player took his natural expansion at the 15-minute mark, he'd be very far behind. But right now, he is going to be up on 3 bases compared to his opponent's 2 after this creep proceeds. So that's still quite a ways away. As a Phoenix now making its way out, it's going to shoot some pop shots at those overlords. He's going to quickly realize that it is a Phoenix, and now I believe HerisGG just his heart sinks even further, knowing how well saturated this one base is. Now, it looks as though, yes, the hallucination was taken down. Drones are being transferred once more. The Twilight Council now being brought into play, and that is going to be huge, as a Twilight Council Stalker is going to be able to blink down and try to engage onto these spine crawlers, but that may actually be a little bit of an issue, as the Mutalisk able to fly in and snipe down this one pylon. Yeah, just a gimme pylon. You can now see 80 over 74. So many resources. HerisGG is currently sitting on. And all of that Q play not really doing much. Oh, there is that Twilight Council, and he does see it, so he should be able to perhaps deny it, take down a pylon, delay it even further, sitting at 80 over 74. Oh, a probe gonna get taken down. Yes, it does get destroyed at the cost of 1 Mutalisk, even delaying even more mining further, as we are now running off of 3 bases, still 2-1. A second pylon now being added, a third pylon now being added, trying to make sure that these buildings do stay powered. Argos with complete map control, and HerisGG just pretty much trying to figure out what he can really do, and there's not much he can. Nexus now being worked in. It may get canceled and delayed even further. Yes, the Nexus looks like it will get canceled. Another 100 minerals lost, as a 4th base now being established. You can see that, HerisGG starting to run low on minerals, down to the last third of the minerals on this natural expansion location. Total spending, total resources, everything looking so strong for Argos, as Argos is going to perhaps just wait and buy his time. Another Nexus now being warped in, as it knows it needs to be done. A lot of minerals being saved up, as Argos could easily just crank out Zerglings if he really wanted to. So currently running off of 6 gas. Spine crawlers now getting destroyed, as Mutalisk blinking straight into a group of Stalkers, Stalkers blinking straight into a group of Mutalisk. Reverse that. And now taking a little bit of damage there. Total resources lost still higher for HerisGG. He's trying to recover. And all Argos is doing is, the longer he has this income advantage, the better it's going to be. He doesn't need to engage just quite yet, as he knows his opponent is still only running off of 1 base. Be cold, be calculating, do what you need to do in order to win, and don't overcommit into any one real fight. Back here, this pylon still the only building powering these buildings here. Stalker's able to blink in, though, and Mutalisk getting just picked out of the sky. Argos needs to be very careful. Those Mutalisks are very expensive, but Argos doesn't care, as he's now transitioning into a 200 food count, transferring more drones as well. The main base nearly mined out. Only a handful of minerals left, as the Mutalisk now going back to retreat. Now, taking a look at the Nidus network, the Nidus network does have a fair amount of units, so the Nidus network is going to be able to deal some damage. Warp Prism needs to set itself in a position where they can just kind of elevate her, and is it going to be right there? Stalkers are now warping, or Stalkers are able to blink in, able to get in a lot of damage. Zealots now coming in as well. Stalker's going to be able to pick apart this entire base as the Stalkers are being rather smart and blinking back even further. The drones need to pull back, but in come the reinforcements. Zergling's now going to perhaps go for a surround. There you go. In come the force fields. Stalkers now trying to fight this back as in double Nidus worms now coming up onto the high ground. Stalkers cool down. It now has to be careful. What do you attack first, the Stalkers and the Roaches, or do you take down those Nidus networks? But there's Mutalisk still fighting and being able to push and take down more Nidus networks coming in once again. Argos Xenix using Nidus networks and even dropping some infested Terran into this group as well. The Nidus network should be able to come out in just a moment. There goes the rest of the Stalkers, and here is GG. Doesn't give the GG as Argos Xenix just absolutely outplayed. Here is GG here on Shakura's Plateau, being very smart, keeping track of his opponent's economy, and being able to attack when ready. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.